Black History Year.
Yeah, year. It's the life of the black people.
Yeah. So we want to make sure that we give them some props to big them up.
So Dr. Stella Davis. Now, there's a little story here.
Mm-hmm.
She was not aware that I knew her.
Oh.
She just actually, we all made a connection. She came to a Recycling Black Dollars breakfast mixer. But I had heard about her years before by a good friend of mine who was also in the beauty industry. He was a celebrity hairstylist, and so she was his his guru while he was building his dream.
Oh wow!
And so I knew of her. He talked about her all the time as he was building out his business, but we had never had an opportunity to meet during that time. And then I think we were talking at the meeting, and she said something about the beauty industry, and then I tied her name and went, wait a minute, are you? So this is Dr. Stella Davis, and she is in the beauty cosmetology industry. She's an educator. She at school operations, she's owned her own salon. She has branding skills and compliance management for the beauty industry and training and education. She was a director at Paul Mitchell, the school.
Very nice.
And as well as her own salon. She owned her own salon. And now she actually has her own school.
Very good.
And it's called the Christian Cosmetology International Association.
You know, that's what I was going to ask you, if she has her own school. With all that qualifications,
she's off the
gotta
chain
have her own
here.
school.
So you know, one of the, just talking to her, you know, you guys know what my favorite business that we need to be taking over is, right? And so it was perfect when I met her because she has all the education. She already has the school. We just need to plug in the curriculum and then start building on that.
And we need to start having a little commercial of you on here.
Right. So welcome, welcome, Stella. I'm so happy to have you.
Thank you so much. It's an honor to be here. I've been looking forward to this time with you here at the Business Zone. So thank you for that great introduction. I don't know if I can live up to all of that, but
I think you already have.
I will certainly try.
Welcome
because,
to the Business Zone.
In the industry, finding individuals that have reached certain pinnacles in the cosmetology in our community,
right? Because
even though that's a area that we should be commanding, and when we look over our history, because you were there at the Black Experience, did you notice the strand? Everything, majority of the women were in the hair industry, and they were billionaires. They became millionaires and billionaires. Madam C.J. Walker was a millionaire, but I didn't know. I guess I maybe had heard of the lady that actually taught her.
Malone.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, Madam C.J. Walker really took it to the next level when she started her school and her product line, as well as teaching the women how to go out and be entrepreneurs and, you know, earn money for themselves and be successful in the industry. So what made her really popular or become a millionaire is that she had the products. She had the team of women as she taught them to go out and she taught them how to do hair as well as sell the product, which is something that we can talk about, the retail end of it that sometimes we miss out on. But, yeah, she was the one that really broke the ceiling, broke the glass ceiling, being the first African-American millionaires in the beauty industry.
Yeah, and when I was listening to the story, so I was telling Don, and I didn't tell you, at the Pan-African Film Fest, there is an amazing documentary that's called Boss, The Black Experience in Business, and it goes back to the emancipation of slavery and the businesses that we created. Yeah. So they highlighted those and the success that we had created during that time. Yeah. And so, but what I got from when they were, and I had never heard this, maybe because I hadn't read her story, that Madam C.J. Walker was really like a Mary Kay.
Yes, she was. She was like the first Mary Kay. Before Mary Kay even became popular or well known as someone to teach women how to become entrepreneurs with their own product line. Madam C.J. Walker was the beginning because she was back in the 1800s when she started her first business. And then, as you could see from the documentary that we watched on Boss, the gentleman that took the product line has now relaunched it and is starting to move forward with Madam C.J. Walker products again.
Right, because that was the guy that his family, the Shea Moisture, right?
Yeah, Richelieu.
Richelieu. And
Yes.
I heard about him from from Scott Juliet. That's how I first heard about that product line.
Yeah.
He absolutely loved it. And he said he used that when he was doing hair.
Okay.
That was the first time. And then when I did my research, they had been around for several decades, actually.
Yes. Well, the actual product, the Madam C.J. product line had been around, but he relaunched it. And, new packaging, new marketing, all into a whole... He brought it into the general market, so it's not just in the professional line anymore.
That's phenomenal. And he also, one of the things I just read about him is that he purchased Madam C.J. Walker's home, and now he's developed, that's going to be a beauty institute for young women to teach them how, and then he bought the house in Atlanta.
In Atlanta, okay.
Yeah, he just did that like about 2 months ago.
Oh, that's great. Well, her name is synonymous with business, with the beauty industry, with millionaire, just the word millionaire for African Americans back in the 1800s, that right there says that she was before her time.
Trailblazer.
She was a trailblazer.
Absolutely.
So, Dr. Davis, tell me this. Every entrepreneurship is a journey. We all know that.
Yes, it is.
And every entrepreneur has a story.
Oh, yes.
What's your story?
Well,
how did you get started? Why did you get started?
Well, my story began with my mother, who is a licensed cosmetologist and has been for probably about 65 years now. And she had an aunt who was in the beauty industry. This was in Mississippi, back in the 40s. And when my mother and father moved to California, my mother decided she would go to beauty school in 1955, and she went to Henrietta's. That was one of the first African-American beauty schools here in Southern California, owned by Mr. John Williams' mother. I don't know if you know John Williams. He owns the beauty college here.
John down the street right there.
Yeah, it's like it was his great grandparents, wasn't it?
Well, it was his mother that actually started the school, and my mother attended the school.
Oh, wow.
She was a student there.
Wow.
And growing up, I never really wanted to become a cosmetologist, or I didn't want anything to do with the beauty industry, because I saw my mother work so hard for such a small amount of money. I said, no, this is not for me. I have bigger dreams. I want to do something, like be a doctor or a lawyer. But as it worked out, I decided at some point, right after I got out of high school, to join Marinello's in Pasadena.
Okay.
And in 1971, I graduated.
Okay.
And then went on to, I really did not want to work, unfortunately, but this worked out to my advantage. I wanted to work in a white salon because of the experience I had growing up with my mother, working so hard, looking as if she was not in an industry that was very glamorous, even though it was to glamorize people. It wasn't very glamorous what she was doing. It was hard work.
Right.
So I went to Magnus in Beverly Hills. I worked in all the major white salons. I worked in I started out in Magnus Beverly Hills, then I went to San Francisco, Magnus, but most of my career was in mostly white salons. Until I had a rude awakening after I really discovered that I really was black. And, and I said, no, I became in touch with my blackness. That's what it really was. And that was when I moved to Chicago, because that city is very pro-black.
That's the Mecca. That's the Mecca right there.
Oprah was getting started, Michael Jordan, the first black mayor, what was his name? Mayor. Well, I can't.
Oh, wait.
Was it Kwame?
No.
No. This
he's
guy
from
had been. He
Detroit.
was like he was part of royalty in the black.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh gosh, his name was right on.
Harold.
Because he's actually, there's a couple of statues and there's some monuments in Chicago because his family were legendary in Chicago.
Right, and Jesse Jackson was popular, and I was going to see. I was going to. I just, my black experience in Chicago really got me in touch with who I am as an African American woman. So after I moved back to California from living in Chicago, that's when I opened my first salon. And I actually started working with John Atchison, who is a legend in the cosmetology industry.
So what was it called, the first salon?
My first salon? Yeah. Well, I started with John. I was his manager, and then I bought his salon, and it was called Stella by Starlight. So, of course, that's kind of my tag name. But that was when I worked with John, because he was the first manager with Fidel Sassoon back in New York. So he was, and still is, an awesome hair cutter. I mean, he really took our craft to a whole nother level, knowing that we could cut hair as well as any other culture.
Right.
Yeah.
And the styles that he created. So I became really engrossed in hair cutting and learning all about that skill, and that's really how I became very well known in the industry as a hair cutter. So after my experience of owning salons and traveling around, and I worked with Glimbia International, traveled all over the country teaching hairstylists, makeup, hair, nails, all of the things that we use to glamorize ourselves. Then later, I started working for Paul Mitchell, the school, which is well known. They have over 100 schools throughout the country, and I became their director of their school in Sherman Oaks, and hired, trained, taught all the instructors, worked with the students, built the school up to by the time I left there, our student body was about 350. We started with about 20 students. So my whole experience with Paul Mitchell was really in the area of education, and I just really had just a passion. But in the meantime, while all this was still going on, I was developing my own nonprofit organization, and that began in '89. So my career in hair and my ministry all kind of moved simultaneously together, but I was doing both. So in '89, I graduated from the School of Ministry, and during the time when I was in the School of Ministry, I began to ask the Lord what was my purpose. Okay, Lord, what is it that you really have for me to do? I'm a hairstylist. Now you call me to ministry. And that's when he said, I'm going to combine your ministry and your skill and your craft together. And that's when the Christian Cosmetology International Association was born.
So then you no longer had
Stella by Starlight.
Stella by Starlight.
Well, I did. At that time, I was moving into a whole nother. Stella by Starlight was in the 90s. And I started going to school in '89. So around that time. But after I became a minister of the gospel, that became my priority. So I started preaching and traveling and teaching and going to hair shows. And, we would have our booths set up, and I would talk to stylists about how to turn your talents into dollars. I wrote a book on how to turn your talents into dollars. And I started sharing the word about how important it was for us as hairstylists in the marketplace to be able to use our gifts and talents to share the word. But in a way that was very unconventional, because initially I thought, once God called me to ministry, I said, I know that means that I'm going to be behind the pulpit, I'm going to be a pastor, I'm going to be teaching the word. But he said, no, this is a marketplace ministry. And that was kind of a rude awakening for me, because I really felt like I wasn't doing enough. But God began to show me how the ministry and how people were getting saved, healed, delivered, and set free. And, I can share that working with people like John Atchison, who's now an elder in the church, and many of the people that the Lord had me to minister to and work with and work in their salons and minister to, they are now doing great things in Christendom.
And they got to see your life on a regular basis as opposed to just on a Sunday service.
Exactly.
So that's the best way to minister to
let
someone.
Your light so shine before men, so that they would see your good works and glorify your Father in heaven.
Yes.
So in the schools, I was able to, they allowed me to minister to the students, to share with them. Even at Paul Mitchell, can you believe it?
They allowed that?
They allowed it,
good.
yes, to pray with them because they felt like, I was an asset, not just with the skills that I had, but also with counseling them, making sure that they really knew what their purpose was. And that was a blessing as well. So I've had a very, very extensive career in the beauty industry.
Very good.
And
48 years I've had my license.
Phenomenal. And I think because a lot of times some young ladies or men get the calling for that because they just have that natural talent. My mom was also in the hair business, and that's how she had the very first hair salon in Memphis, Tennessee, a black one. And but that's how she raised us. She became a nurse when we moved to the north, but she always did hair on the side. So I never had my hair done outside of my mother's house.
I mean,
until I was
isn't
an
that
adult.
most of our stories? Yeah. Somebody in the family did hair, and now my daughter, who's celebrating her 25th year as a licensed cosmetologist, I've passed the baton to her. So she's now the president of the association. I'm the founder. So she's in North Carolina. She just launched her first salon for women and girls that really can't afford the to get their hair done. So she is offering scholarships. She's offering services to women, and she's also she teaches self-esteem classes, and she'll be out here, as a matter of fact, in a couple of weeks to celebrate my 70th birthday as well.
Happy birthday! Wow!
You look great.
Look, man, she's a beautiful lady. But
yes,
and them seeing you, and I think a lot of young women that get into it's almost like it's the last resort, right? They're not college material.
Right.
They can't go out and do construction or anything. So usually, the easy resort is I like to do hair, I like beauty, I like makeup. I'll go to cosmetology.
I think now this generation is a little different because of social media. It's glamorous. They want to go to cosmetology. They want to do hair. It's not a last resort for them.
Not anymore.
It's so much
changed.
Back then it was. But now the industry is so different. But I want to say the fact that you're an entrepreneur, you've established yourself really well in the industry with the changes that's taking place in the hair industry. Now they're going to be graduating from school and they have to have a solid business.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
The booth renting in a moment is going to be.
Well, it's already done in California.
Yes. They definitely.
They're making a soft transition even here, but my girlfriend, I'm seeing people who made money on these salons are getting ready to take some serious hits. They're trying to figure out how to teach entrepreneurial skills to their what do you call it? The booth renters.
Right.
People are just changing business.
Oh, yes. The industry has changed. I mean, in the almost 50 years that I've been in the industry, I've seen it evolve and change and grow. And but right now, in terms of the African American stylists, yes, because most of us, after getting out of school, we didn't go. Well, I did. I was very fortunate to go and work for a company that provided all the benefits, vacations, training, development, and but nowadays you don't find too many of the stylists. They mainly when they get out of school, if they go to school, because braiders don't even have to go to school now, they want to be independent.
Yeah, right. Go to school to be an entrepreneur.
Right. And there's nothing wrong with that. The problem that I find is that if you don't set up a financial stability for yourself, when you are in the business after 5, 10, 20 years, then what do you have to fall back on? And let's not talk about getting injured or in an accident or getting hurt, because we use our bodies. And if you don't have any kind of insurance or disability or Social Security or something, you're going to be in a situation where you might have to go out and drive Uber or do something completely different. So, I've always been of the mindset that you have to diversify. You can't just stand behind the chair, because eventually your body is going to command that you do something other than stand behind the chair 10, 12, 14 hours a day, which I've done in the past. But fortunately, because of my love of education, I was able to get into a teaching position where I worked for a corporation. was able to, retire with some form of benefits,
Right.
not at the very pinnacle because they don't offer pensions anymore.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't have a 401k or something to fall back
Right.
on, then you're in trouble.
Yeah.
So my advice to these young ladies that are graduating from school is you have to have something other than just your skill of doing hair.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, I'm in several different businesses. I have a real estate license, insurance license. I still have my cosmetology license, but I did all that while I was still in the
The
business.
schools aren't teaching them how to be entrepreneurs.
No.
No,
they're
they're
not teaching them how
No.
to set up their business. They're graduating and have the skill of cutting hair, but they don't know how to run a business.
Exactly, and that's
Where Crystal and we come in.
That's where
Right, exactly.
that's really unfortunate. But it's going to be very vital for them to learn business skills, or they won't survive.
They
Right.
won't survive.
They won't
In
survive.
fact, there are many windows of opportunity for those that are already in the cosmetology, and I think I've spoken to you on the beauty supply stores, because a lot of the Koreans, as I said, are looking to retire, and now they're selling their existing businesses. So I did some research, and there are about 450 stores. Not just Dr. Robinson, but there are a number of entities out there that are helping cosmetology go back to school to become business owners. So
Yes.
some of those windows of opportunity that we need to look at. And you saw this from a Paul Mitchell standpoint in all the white salons that you worked in, because retail was huge. That's where they make their bread and butter.
Absolutely.
Is on the retail. But some of the other opportunities out there are creating products, which we have seen of just an influx of products
Especially for natural hair.
Yes.
Yes.
And they're anticipating that to be $150 million industry.
Oh, yes.
And that's with your beauty and personal care and styling and appliance applications.
Yes. Tools.
Tools, because you're working in it.
Yes.
And then the other area is supply chain management, beauty supply stores, beauty care salons, and spa franchises.
Yes.
And that's huge, because that's one of my dream businesses. I actually have a plan all written out.
Right.
I have a partner already
that's
lined
wonderful.
up to open up a day spa here in town. It would be in town, out of town. So the name is Farrell's. So I've been to all the beauty conventions for the last 15 years, because we've
Good
been
for
working
you.
on this because she's taking care of her mom.
Yes.
The schools, like what you're doing, and then specialty niches. When we look at our hair and the variety that we do with wigs and extensions and weaves and crochet and all of that sort of stuff, that's massive.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, yes. Those skills that you just mentioned, they have really taken over our industry. I mean, you find most African American women now, unless they are wearing their hair natural, they either are have a weave or a wig or some form of braids, because
Just frustrated like me, trying to figure out.
But hair has become like an accessory, right? It's like,
Exactly.
I have my jewels,
Today,
I have my jewelry, I have my watch, and I have my room of hair.
That's right. Yes, you can go blonde today, and tomorrow you can go purple and green
I'm
and
thinking about changing.
any color that you want. And that's one of the things that has really, I would say, hurt the industry from the standpoint of women that just want to get a haircut, a relaxer, just a nice color, because there are some stylists out there that still are into hair care, that just want to, be able to enhance a woman's natural hair. But what you find is most of us, like myself, it's easier to slap on a wig
So much easier.
and keep on
Braids.
stepping.
Wigs don't really look that well on me. Seriously, every time I wear a wig, I got a wig made, and Michael made a wig for me, and it was amazing. You had no idea it was a wig. I don't know what happened to Michael. Sorry, Michael. He's been making wigs perfectly for everyone else, but when it comes to me, I think he lost his touch. The last wig he made me look like a helmet. I was like, they just don't look good on me anymore. It looks like I have a wig on, so they don't really work.
Yeah, my
it
head is
doesn't
not
work for
shaped
my
on
head.
either.
Well,
That's
when you look at YouTube nowadays, you see a lot of the
those
wigs
girls
are very natural looking. I mean, nowadays with the lace fronts and the way the wigs are made, you can't even really tell they're wigs.
But I'm trying to look like me. So I want something short. I want something short. So the short wigs look wiggish. The longer wigs look great.
Yeah.
And I really don't want to be Crystal tomorrow and Dawn. Long and short, long and short. I'm trying to be me. I'm not trying to lie to these men out here. Take off my hair, take off my leg. You know, I'm trying to be as natural as I can.
Well, you know, one thing about wigs, too, see, you can go with a wig that can cost hundreds, thousands of dollars. I mean, I'm sure the hair that Beyonce wears is not, you
I
know,
bought
the hair.
an $800 wig before.
Well, okay.
And it still didn't fit.
Well, it's not so much the fit, it's the hair. First of all, it's the texture of the hair. I mean, you can get hair from Brazil, from India. There's all different types and textures of hair. But then, not only that, once you get the hair, it has to be placed properly, and then it has to be cut and styled to your face. So there's more than just buying a wig and putting it on. You know, the wig has to be customized for you. And then there's wigs that are made of, you know, really, really great hair, or hair that's going to cost a lot of money. Then you can go to the wig store and buy a wig for $25, you know. So there's such a large gamut, and a lot of women, you know, they don't want to spend a lot of money on a wig or hair. They just want to use it as an accessory. But if you want a really, really good wig, you're going to have to, you know, get the hair. You're going to have to invest. Yeah, you're going to have to really invest.
Probably have it.
Crystal does her own hair, and she's great at it.
And I don't. My head is weird, so it doesn't do wigs well. But braids is my thing.
You do your own hair?
I do my own hair.
Wow, you do a great job.
Yeah.
And she changes it up. I just admire her.
I call her Queen Nefertiti.
She does. And she looks amazing.
Well, if you
But we're
notice,
at the top of the hour, so let's go ahead and take a quick break, and then on the other side of the break, we'll talk a little bit more about what you've been doing and how you're helping other small businesses.
All right.
Okay, so you're on the Business Zone with
Crystal.
Dawn.
and Gilbert Buchanan, your small business paramedic. For those of you who are listening and really want to get into the hair and beauty industry, give us a call. Our number here is 323-293-3375, 323-293-3375. Take a break.
Hello, meet Larry. Larry is a general contractor. Larry is very good at his craft, but Larry has a very tough time managing his paperwork because he is busy taking care of his clients' needs. Larry just cannot find his important business documents when needed. Larry is also being passed over for bid opportunities from prime contractors because he is perceived as not ready. He doesn't know where his business license, certifications, insurance, and other key corporate documents are located most of the time. Lucy owns an auto body and collision repair shop and has been using a business management and procurement assistance program called Small Biz Pro to keep her business organized, business ready, contract ready, and bank loan ready. Small Biz Pro is a 3-in-1 cloud-based business management, procurement, and market research assistance system designed to help businesses become business ready, contract ready, and bank loan ready. It also provides back-office operation solutions for small businesses. Lucy is able to stay ahead of her competitors because she uses Small Biz Pro to manage her business daily. Lucy just clicks on Small Biz Pro from her tablet, mobile phone, laptop, or any internet-accessible device for data retrieval, and she's got it. Lucy introduces Larry to Small Biz Pro, and now Larry is more organized and can now find all of his documents and new bid opportunities in seconds. Larry now saves $120 in labor costs for each missing or misplaced document. Just simply go to your web browser and log into smallbizpro.net and register today for a limited 30-day free trial offer. Services start as low as $1 per day. Let's put the competition out of business. Small Biz Pro. If you stay ready, you don't need to get ready. Register now at smallbizpro.net and begin saving money. Email info@smallbizpro.net or call 626-533-1186.
on Monday.
So we're back on the Business Zone with
Christo.
Dawn.
and Gilbert Buchanan, your small business paramedic, and our very, very special guest in the studio, Dr. Stella Davis, the guru in hair and cosmetics.
Oh, thank you. I'll accept that. I received that.
So you indicated you had written a couple books, How to Use Your Talent.
Well, the book that I wrote is How to Turn Your Talents into Dollars.
Oh, yeah,
And
I
I'm gonna relaunch. I mean, it's I haven't really been selling my book for a long time because after I wrote it, I realized that it needed so much more. So I'm gonna be relaunching my book coming out very, very soon. There's another book that we were able to be published in. It's called From the Kitchen to the Parlor.
Oh,
And it was,
nice.
yes, one of my clients, very early when we started doing ministry in the salon, she would come in. She was actually writing her dissertation. She's a PhD at USC in anthropology, but her mother was a stylist, and so she would come in and she recorded us and wrote a whole chapter in her book on the Christian Cosmetology International Association.
You wrote a whole chapter?
She wrote the
Okay.
chapter
Okay.
on the ministry.
Oh,
Very nice.
awesome.
Yes,
Very nice.
and so she's allowed me to use that as well. Mainly what I do now is online on my website. I do a lot of ministry online. My website is www.christccia.org. So a couple of things that I do is I minister to people online. I consult with them online on my website. Any questions that they have about the industry or ministry, or they want to pray. So it's been a blessing to be able to use social media. I'm all over Facebook. Mainly I have my personal Facebook page, also my Christian Cosmetology International. And there's probably at least 500 partners and members that log on to hear what we're talking about in terms of the
Fantastic.
industry.
That's great.
Or
Do you have a blog?
Yes, I do.
All right.
I have a blog.
Did you obtain it through Lady
No, she
Crystal?
already had
I already
hers.
had the blog.
But we're going to help her monetize.
Yeah,
Yes,
she can
that's-
help you with that.
That's the next step to monetize the blog.
Yeah,
so
that's
that,
what we've been doing, working with small businesses. Crystal is a guru who helps them with their blog or vlog, right?
Yes.
Well, video is vlog, but
Yeah.
hers
But
is
do you do
vlog.
videos too? Video vlog?
It's not as lucrative as a written blog because you
Okay.
need keywords in
Okay.
order to drive it through the
So my mistake, blog.
blog. Right, so that's how you really derive your but it's all part of it, right? So it's a
Yes.
whole digital marketing platform that can help
Absolutely.
expand your business.
Yes.
But I think definitely you're needed, and I think we're missing from when we think about African American and Black people and how to create billionaires and millionaires.
Yes.
That's an industry that is definitely open for that.
Definitely, yes.
And we need to sit and embrace them because that's a $7.5 billion industry.
Yes,
that
it
would
is.
change
Probably more.
more, and that would change communities, right?
Yes.
But we need to educate our cosmetologists.
Yes, and barbers.
And barbers.
Yes.
They need to be educated on building scalable Fortune 500 businesses like Paul Mitchell
Yes.
and Vidal Sassoon and,
Right,
that,
Tony and Guy and
all
those
those
schools.
guys.
Yes.
Right? 'Cause the talent is there.
It's there. The talent is there. It's just the business acumen has
Right.
not been really taught. And I think now that a lot of these millennials now, they really want to go into their own businesses.
Sure.
They're very
They don't
independent.
wanna work for anyone.
Right. I have 5 I call them my grown grandkids from 20 to 28. 3 Howard graduates, one that's graduating from Clark in May, and then my
fantastic.
granddaughter, she is graduating from Cal State Long Beach. She runs track. But they all have this entrepreneurial mindset.
That's awesome.
Even though they have their college degrees, they're doing photography, they have all these other entities that they're building themselves. And it's very exciting because they've been very helpful with me in my entrepreneurial endeavors as well, especially with social media and things like that. But on another note, I'm going to be with Doris Mosley. Doris Mosley is the executive director of Spectrum International Beauty Expo, and that's coming up the 24th and 25th of this month. She'll have she'll have educators from all over the country that will be attending. And I will be hosting the Power Breakfast that's going to be on the 25th.
Very good.
At the expo. And that's one of the things I do, speaking engagements, hosting events, and Doors, and we're one of the sponsors. The Christian Cosmetology Association is one of the sponsors of the Spectrum International Beauty Expo. And we'll have a booth there, and we'll be sharing with people about the ministry, about the association. Also, those that want to sign up for any of the classes that are going to be held there. They're going to be not just educational classes on skills, but also business classes as well.
Okay.
And so that's another area that I'm really passionate about, because I know education is really the key to the success of most of these people that are in the industry. The way they've been able to sustain themselves is through education.
Yeah.
Because what you learn in school is not enough to sustain you if you want to stay in the industry, for any amount of time. So
and you got to be able to pivot as to how the industry is changing. So what's the cost of this?
The cost, I believe the tickets are the breakfast I know is going to be $35. If you purchase your ticket in advance, it's $35 at the door. It's $45 for the breakfast. But the actual cost of getting in the show, I know they have some package deals, but it says tickets are on sale now.
What day
they
is
can
this
go. This is going to be Sunday, the 24th, and Monday, the 25th of February, like next weekend.
Yeah,
The
so
24th?
you're speaking on the 24th. That's the same time you're speaking in it.
No, I'm speaking on the 25th, that Monday.
Oh, okay.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'm hosting the breakfast.
What
So
time
I'd
does
like to come
what time
in.
does the 24th start?
The Sunday? That's going to be the actual show itself with the convention.
Okay, I'd
where
love to
you'll
come
be
in
able
on
to
that
come
day.
in, and there'll be vendors on the floor. But then classes are going to be taking place all day on Sunday and Monday.
Okay.
Yes, but Monday is the Power Breakfast. So we're excited about that. Like I said, my daughter is going to be here. She has her own line of product, Idella Purnell, named after her two great grandmothers.
Fantastic.
Yes, and then my grandson, he's a barber. He's a graduate of Howard University, but he started cutting hair when he was a student. Yes, so we have 4 generations of hairstylists and barbers in our family. And really, in our family altogether, we've got about 12 family members that are in the beauty industry.
Dr. Davis, we're definitely going to have to get you back on this show. Because
Yes,
there's
you
so
have.
much
And I'm going to be there on the 25th.
Yes,
great.
there's so much information that you have that you want to disseminate to our audience, and it's just not enough. So we're going to have all of this on our website.
And actually, I would like to I would like to meet for us to get together, because I really think that far as preparing individuals to be able to purchase, and I actually have some people that are investors that are looking to invest and purchase the supply stores, and then we train them so that they can manage them with an opportunity to purchase them.
I'm
Phenomenal.
ready.
So let's do that, because
Yes.
we got to talk about some definitive changes and industries that that's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
Right? We already are there. We just need to teach them how to be successful.
You're going to have to do some guerrilla takeover.
Yeah,
right?
we got
Take it
no more
over.
talking.
No more talking. It's
No more
time for the
talking.
takeover.
So we want to thank Dr. Davis for being on the show, speaking so eloquently and knowledgeably about all of this great information. And again, most of this information can be obtained on our website at the Business Zone.
Yes.
And just give us a call, log in, go to YouTube, and you'll find this information. And Dr. Davis, how can they find you again?
They can go to my website, which is www.christccia.org, or they can log on to my Facebook page, Stella Spicer Davis at Facebook. Also, Christian Cosmetology International Association, Facebook. Instagram, Christian Cosmetology International Association, and also LinkedIn. If they want to email me, my email address is drstella@outlook.com. If they want to call me, my number is 323-893-3380. Thank you so much. This was an honor.
That's beautiful.
And
Thank
a privilege
you.
and a pleasure to be on your show. I've been so looking forward to it. Thank you so much. I really appreciate
And
it.
before you appear on the next show, we want to see your ad up on our screen up there. So Crystal will talk to you about how we can get your ad up there, okay?
All right.
And then
Looking
we have
forward to it.
James Wilson said, "Go ahead, Stella."
Oh, that's my grandson. That's my grandson.
That's your grandson.
One of them.
Well,
We're
thank
gonna take
you
a
very
quick
much.
break, and we'll bring up our other guests. And this is another guy that's in the industry that is just moving with light speed.
Phenomenal.
Especially since Black Panther made its way and became the top selling movie. So we're excited to have him on the show as well. So we'll be right back.
Hello, meet Larry. Larry is a general contractor. Larry is very good at his craft, but Larry has a very tough time managing his paperwork because he is busy taking care of his clients' needs. Larry just cannot find his important business documents when needed. Larry is also being passed over for bid opportunities from prime contractors because he is perceived as not ready. He doesn't know where his business license, certifications, insurance, and other key corporate documents are located most of the time. Lucy owns an auto body and collision repair shop and has been using a business management and procurement assistance program called Small Biz Pro to keep her business organized, business ready, contract ready, and bank loan ready. Small Biz Pro is a 3-in-1 cloud-based business management, procurement, and market research assistance system designed to help businesses become business ready, contract ready, and bank loan ready. It also provides back-office operation solutions for small businesses. Lucy is able to stay ahead of her competitors because she uses Small Biz Pro to manage her business daily. Lucy just clicks on Small Biz Pro from her tablet, mobile phone, laptop, or any internet-accessible device for data retrieval, and she's got it. Lucy introduces Larry to Small Biz Pro, and now Larry is more organized and can now find all of his documents and new bid opportunities in seconds. Larry now saves $120 in labor costs for each missing or misplaced document. Just simply go to your web browser and log into smallbizpro.net and register today for a limited 30-day free trial offer. Services start as low as $1 per day. Let's put the competition out of business. Small Biz Pro. If you stay ready, you don't need to get ready. Register now at smallbizpro.net and begin saving money. Email info@smallbizpro.net or call 626-533-1186.
Hey, it's your girl Dawn, and I am ready for a beautiful workout this week. It's going to be a hard workout to do with lower body blast. We're starting off with killer squats. Moving to squat your back and switch lunges. Yes, 10 each. You can do it. I can do the first round with you, and then you're going to do 4 rounds. Let's do it, y'all. Let's go. Listen. 1, 2, 3, back, sit low. 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, back, 10, 11, 12, and rest. 2, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, sit low. 4, just up. 3, 2, watch your slides. 1, 8, 2, 8, 3. Just keep going. 8, 4, 8, 5, 8, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yes! Look at that. There you go. Give me 2 more rounds. You guys got this. Let's do it! Don't want to rest. I'm Don Structure. For more videos, stay here at GetUpErica.com and Don Structure on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. See you on Monday.
Hello, meet Larry. Larry is a general contractor. Larry is very good at his craft.
So we're back on the Business Zone with
Crystal.
Dawn.
and Gilbert Buchanan, your small business paramedic. And Crystal, who do we have in the studio
We
here
now
today?
have, this gentleman has been crossing all of our paths lately, but he is participating in the digital marketing class, and he is just so talented. We have a lot of talented people that we get ready to help make millionaires.
Star performers.
And then I know he's in your class.
Oh, yes.
And so you're teaching him how to really build the foundation, so he has no choice but to be great.
Oh,
so
yeah.
we have Mr. Clint Duran Johnson, a native of Los Angeles. He's a blend of a writer, an illustrator, designer, a poet, and a minister. He earned a degree in visual communication from LA Trade Tech. He was enrolled in numerous business classes over the years, and his artistry has graced comics, books, covers, children's literature, logos, and branding material. Clint is possibly best known as the creator of the comic character Matthew Cross, Faith Walker. In addition to that, Johnson is a hip-hop pioneer whose music group Dark Star predates NWA. And he is the CEO of a company called M25. I assume this is Matthew 25,
Yes.
verse 20, Media Inc., and is the umbrella and entity and operates in various creative areas. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank
Welcome.
you.
Welcome to the Business Zone. And before we get started, like I said to all our guests, we need to have your ad up here because we're all over the place. We're in Africa. We're all over the place. And what you do is phenomenal. So we need to get you up there. We need to get an ad up there for you.
Thank you.
Oh, okay. So the comic book industry, which is around and been around since forever, especially with young males and black males especially. I know my brothers was into it. Not too much my nephews, but my brother was. But I'm very focused today on the capacities that our industries actually can participate in, how much money is actually generated in those industries, and then us finding out what percentage of that we can actually capture. I think we need to no longer think small, we need to think big. So in your industry, when I did the research, it is a $1.085 billion industry.
Nice numbers.
Now, with that,
Is that within the U.S. or global, worldwide?
That's U.S. and really has picked up because of all the superhero movies that are apparently being regurgitated in the world, actually, right? Mm-hmm. Black Panther just probably revolutionized that for black folks.
Records.
Yeah, ridiculous records.
Nobody saw it coming.
Right. So if you even take, and this is what I do with the kids, if you take